Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because, we haven't seen anything yet when it comes to the bank fallout. And there is a rumor that the next bank to go down for the count is First Republic. And there's a branch here in Corona del Mar, California. As I walk down to the water, we can talk about this and 19 other banks that they think are in trouble right now. So please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And today we have a sponsor, ZenZ, which I will talk about a little bit later. But let's get into it. First things first, guys. With Silicon Valley Bank, you have to understand the fallout of this is going to be international, and for very good reason. The quality of Silicon Valley Bank, when it came to investments and it came to the biotech industry, this was the go-to bank. If someone had a company and they had funding through Silicon Valley Bank, they had done so much due diligence up until that point that you really didn't have to worry about the quality of the technology. Okay? Most likely they were vetted. The advantage to having a conference and having, putting people up on stage, whether it was a startup or someone with new technology or something like that, if they had funding from these guys, it made it much easier because the doctors, the investors, and other people could, really see how good the quality of the company was very easily. Made it really, really good. Now, there is a fallout for this internationally. In the UK, there's a huge biotech sector, or as they call it, life science sector, that is going to be dramatically affected by Silicon Valley Bank. Okay? Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister, steps forward yesterday and says, hey, we've got to get ahead of this because you're going to have a lot of technology companies that are going to go out of business as a result of the funding or lack of funding. Israel, same thing. Israel is trying to figure this out, and they have a huge life science biotech division, med tech division, medical device, medical technology division throughout that area. A lot of conferences, a lot of innovation, a lot of brilliant people out of Israel that work in that space. A real problem, to say the least. Okay? Now, when you go, this gets better, because in China, the Chinese government steps forward and says, hey, listen, we want you to know that we have been looking at this, the Chinese regulators. This bank, Silicon Valley Bank, they were the liaison to any Chinese innovation. All these different countries, Israel, the UK, United States, Australia, I could name them all. They all have our version of the FDA to get things approved. And if you have a medical product or drug or a biotech product that needs FDA approval to work on a patient, you have to go through these different regulators. 90% of the money from China went through Silicon Valley Bank. Guys, this is a huge problem. And, China steps forward today and says, oh, it's not a problem. We're not concerned about this. So, of course, we can trust the Chinese and the CCP and everything they tell us. But it's going to be a massive problem that you're going to see unfold right before our eyes. And this is just the beginning of this. Grandma Yellen steps forward, and she was on Face the Nation yesterday talking about how, hey, listen, this is just an isolated incident. It's not an isolated incident. This is the beginning of the end for the banking sector as we know it right now. And I want everybody to understand that because of the fact that you've got massive problems with other banks. And again, there's 20 banks that they anticipate that could go down as a result of this bank. Okay? Cryptocurrencies are affected. The stable coin that's compared, that's backed and equal to the dollar. It's dropped to 94 cents. It's not supposed to do that. A lot of different issues that are coming out of this. So there's a lot to talk about this. Let's talk about our sponsor, ZenZ from BioTrust. Do you toss and turn at night and not get a full night's sleep? When you wake up, do you feel like you're not rested? I have a solution for you, and that is Zenzi from BioTrust. They have put together 7 nutrients that are all natural that help you get a full night of restorative sleep. Try these capsules. They're absolutely amazing. I've tried them. They work beautifully. They have a discount, 51% off their regular price if you use the website dansleepsgood.com that they set up for you. And this will help you get a full night's sleep. Of the 164 million people that do not get a full night's sleep, they say 27%, once they do fall asleep and they wake up, they don't go back to bed. You can solve that by taking Zenzi. Try it, guys. It absolutely works. It is an inexpensive way to fix your sleeping problems. Plus, let's face it, a lot of health concerns happen as a result of people having sleep disorders, and you don't want to have that, guys. So do yourself a favor, go to dansleepsgood.com, look at the discount code. They will save you 51% off, free shipping, 60-day money-back guarantee, and it will help you get a full night's sleep. Try it today. As the Silicon Valley Bank problem unfolds a little more, you're going to see this affect industries that you would think would have nothing to do with a bank in Silicon Valley. How about French wineries? A lot of these people were financed through Silicon Valley Bank, and they may have to start selling off wine barrels to help with funding. That's one thing. Silicon Valley Bank paid bonuses, guys, out the day that they were going out of business to their employees. And now that's nice if you can get a gig like that. Think about this. Silicon Valley Bank was the highest paying bank in the industry. The average salary, $250,638. It's a good gig if you can get it. And if you can get your bonus for 2022, think about this. People did not get their deposits, but those employees got their bonuses right now. Crazy. Okay. Remember this house, guys? I showed you guys when I said the real estate crash is in and showed you this house, $36 million. What's for sale again, guys? It's for sale again. Interesting. Guess how much it is now? 21 million. 36. Carry the 1. Okay, yeah. $15 million cheaper. Now, once again, I've always thought that this house is beautiful. I mean, it's stunning. Okay? But you have some mook with a camera, okay, walking by this house and, new agents again. 21 million, okay? It can be yours. Bill Ackman from Pershing Square, he stepped forward. He said that there is a real problem with the Silicon Valley Bank debacle, and that the feds did a horrible job, and that they have basically 48 hours from now to fix this, or you're going to see this be a contagion that's going to affect other institutions. I think he's absolutely right. I think that this is the beginning of the problem with this. Now, think about this. Peter Thiel, I love Peter Thiel. Okay, I think he's a brilliant businessman. And again, if you can get yourself an investment from Mr. Thiel, you've got yourself something, and he believes in your company, and the company will go places because of that guy. Mr. Thiel got all his money out of Silicon Valley Bank and some of his investors right now before the collapse. Okay, the rich guys. Okay, that's what happens with stuff like this. So very common for them to take care of themselves. Okay, so what you're going to see with the feds right now is that, guys, think about this. When it comes to the sale of this place, this is going to be a police raid. They're going to come in, they're going to disrupt everything, all the assets over at Silicon Valley Bank, and you're going to see them take what they want and leave the trash for us taxpayers. We're going to have to pay everything that's left over. It's going to be a swap meet of nothing. So everything good will be shipped to somebody else. Remember that. So that being said, this is a mess. This is a mess that we're going to be responsible for. Bill Ackman thinks that, one of the big banks should step in, like Bank of America or JP Morgan or somebody like that, and they should step in and buy this place. Now, one of the potential suitors was one and only Elon Musk, who says he'd like to have an online bank from, Silicon Valley Bank. And once again, guys, that house was $36 million. Now it's $21 million. Okay? Different agents, different day. Good luck to you. Go buy it. Step up, guys. Okay? And again, I don't think it's worth 21 million. I don't think it was worth 36 million. Imagine the fool if you would have paid that. Talking about losing. But this is the beginning of this, guys. You're going to see so many different industries that were completely unrelated in the past that are going to be affected by the Silicon Valley Bank debacle. And real estate, this is the beginning of this. This is one of my dream cities to live in. I wanted to live on this street on Ocean. And it has just completely changed right now, guys. And yeah, you can get a deal. You just save 15 million bucks right there if you bought that house from March of last year. So share your thoughts on this stuff so far, guys. But again, Elon Musk, they will not let this guy buy this place. They wouldn't let this guy buy a food truck right now because of how they're trying to disrupt his image and everything about this guy. I'm trying to walk across the street right now and not get hit. But that being said, what do you guys think about the employees getting their bonuses? Do you think that that's good? Now, they're trying to defend this, saying, hey, these were bonuses that are paid the second week of March every year. Wasn't it funny? They got paid. So, shareholders didn't. You're going to see such a huge tech sector go out of business this week. Mark my words. You're going to see such a problem because 93% of the money that was in that bank was not insured. We need a bailout right now. We need the government to step in. They need to save technology and they need to save innovation. Okay. Once again, guys, have money out of the bank. Have multiple bank accounts. Do not have your money in one source, one place. Have it in different places. You have to have green cash. I spoke to a dozen or so people in the last 24 hours and told them the same thing. Make sure you have some cash out of the bank in case this problem gets worse, because it's going to get worse right before our eyes, guys. We're going to see things happen over the course of the next 60 and 90 days that, oh, I can't believe this is happening. And it's going to come out of the blue. Janet Yellen, Face the Nation, steps forward and says, hey, listen, there's nothing to worry about. This is just an isolated incident. Okay, remember that. Okay, this is a top tier bank, guys. This is the bank that had the most amount of deposits, the most amount of money, and was considered one of the best institutions for technology, biotech, life sciences, anything in the medical space, or anything robotics, anything like that. And right now, guess what? It's completely done. So share your thoughts on that. They'll have a new buyer this week, but it's nice to come out here and walk through this area. But share your thoughts on this stuff so far, guys. The hits just keep on coming, guys. Just notified that Signature Bank in New York, they're finished. They just got closed by regulators yesterday, and they're done, guys. So this is the beginning, guys. This is the beginning of many, many bank closures right now. And you need to prepare yourself. Get your house in order. Don't worry about, the news and things like that. This is going to have massive fallout. If you deal with a smaller bank right now, these are going to be gobbled up like hungry, hungry hippos. Remember that stupid game that you played and your kids always beat you at, where you would eat the hungry, hungry hippos would eat the little balls? That's what's happening with these small banks right now. They're getting eaten by these big banks. And you're going to see New York State regulators say, hey, listen, don't worry. This is just issued by Reuters. Hey, it's not a concern. Don't worry about this. It's all going to be fine. All the depositors are going to be made whole. These banks are ran horribly. They are not fiscally responsible. They're not ran like your business or my business or any other business that has to post a profit. They can just basically print money and steal from us, okay? Charge us fees, change things. Oh, you want to talk to a teller? $5. Okay, it's ridiculous, guys. But Signature Bank down for the count, seized by regulators as I'm filming this, okay? So share your thoughts on this stuff, guys, because this is the first of many that you're going to see this happen to. Now, there is more Janet Yellen news that's kind of funny, in that she stepped forward after Face the Nation and said, hey, we need to do something about the debt ceiling. We need to have Congress raise the debt ceiling to an unlimited level. Think about this. This is giving them an unlimited credit line. That's what she wants. She wants it so that they can write checks for everything. The fact that we owe $32 trillion right now, 31.8 rounding up, and she wants it unlimited is insanity. Okay? So Congress should not do this. It's an absolute disaster, but that's what Janet Yellen wants. And that's their solution to this. A solution to inflation, a solution to everything is just to write more checks with money that, she will never pay back. Our great, great, great grandchildren will pay back. So there's that. Now, I was not going to do this, but now I am going to do it. And there is a list of 20 banks that could potentially go out of business. And the link is below on this. But with Signature Bank going down as I'm filming this video, I want you guys to hear this list, okay? It's Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank, Columbia Financial Institution, Prosperity Bankshare, Pacific Premier Bank Corp, Dime Community Bank, Ally Bank, First Foundation, New York Community Bank Corp, Spring Bank Corp, Sandy Spring Bank Corp, and First Republic. Now, the other group, Zion Bank Corporation, Popular Incorporated, Key Corporation, Community Bank, Commerce Bankshares, Cullen Frost Bankers, First Financial Bankshares, Eastern Bankshares, Heartland Financial, First Bank Corp, Silvergate, which we already know has gone down, Bank of Hawaii, Synovus, Ally Financial, WSFP, and Fifth Third Bank Corp, First Hawaiian, UMB, and of course our buddies over at Signature Bank Corp. So guys, okay, if you have your money in those banks, look at the list. Get your money out of those banks right now, because they're destined to go out of business right now. So share your thoughts on this stuff so far. We're definitely living through history right now. And Bernie Marcus, one of the founders of Home Depot, steps forward and says, if you do not think that this economy is completely upside down and we are in deep, deep trouble, you're kidding yourself. He absolutely slammed the Biden administration in his talk on the Sunday news show, saying that they know nothing. They will sit there and tell us how great everything is, when we all know that it's not. We pay, 17% more for food right now than we did a year ago, and people cannot get by. I just paid $5.50 for gas right now on the way over here. This is a joke, guys. It's an absolute mess. They're talking about raising the FDIC insurance to $250,000, from $250,000 to a higher level. Okay. They're also talking about how banks need to pay interest higher than the 0.5% that they're paying for the checking accounts that do pay interest, because a lot of them don't right now. So this is an absolute mess. These banks went out, and because of bonds and because of their lack of paying interest, people wanted to finally get themselves into money market accounts and things like that, which created this run on the banks right now. And it's fascinating when you hear about Peter Thiel and all these other investors that pulled their money like it was nothing out of these banks. All these senators talking about how, hey, everybody should do this, everybody should do this. I don't know what they're talking about right now. You need to have multiple bank accounts. You need to have yourself into cash right now also. But understand this, that your bank could go down with no notice right now in the coming week. So get ready. Dawn lives here in Newport Beach, and she sent me a great story about how there is a group that wants to fight fractional ownership of homes here in the Newport Beach area. Now, for those of you that don't know this, there's companies like Picasso, and Picasso goes out and they buy a nice house, maybe something like this, on the water, something super cool. And then they go to investors, and you can buy 1/8, 1/12, one whatever of the house. And instead of paying $8 million for it, you'll pay $1.2 million, but you'll own the house 2 weeks a year. And the problem with this is that if you own something 2 weeks a year, guess what that turns into? You guessed it, a party house, a complete, shenanigans festival ran by a management company. It might as well be an Airbnb, but it's not, because it's not Airbnb, because it's owned by somebody. It's owned by, the fractional owners. So they want to stop that. And it'll be interesting to see if they pull it off here in Newport Beach, because they want to stop certain ways of buying property. Okay, I don't know if it's going to work or not, just because of the fact that I understand the rentals and not wanting to have things rented out for a long period of time. I mean, there have been some great Orange County stories over the last few years of where houses in, suburban areas that are just really, nice neighborhoods like Fountain Valley, where these houses were just known for just chaos and parties and, 50 people there on, a weekend, things like that. And then they'd clean it up on a Monday. Somebody would come in on Tuesday and start these shenanigans all over again. That's what Don wants to see end. So it's going to be interesting to see if that stops. Now, another thing that Brad sent me was there is a city in New York, Kingston, that wants to actually demand that the rent be lowered for its citizenry. And this has never been done before. It's legal to do this, but it's never been done before. Now, Kingston, when you read the story below, they had issues where they had rent 2 years ago that was, $1,000 for a 2-bedroom place. Now it's $2,100 inside of 3 years. And now supply and demand, the health crisis, everything that we went through, do I agree with it? Of course not. But do I understand it? Sure. There are still areas here in California, Alameda County, where you cannot evict people right now. And I did a story last week about this, about a man that owns a duplex and a woman owes $120,000 in back rent that she will never pay. So this is an issue that is awful. And, what's right with this? Is it just supply and demand, or is it more than that? So let me know, share your thoughts on this stuff, because, I don't know if you can block this stuff. Jeff Bezos, this is the thing he's making a ton of money on right now. And even Elon Musk wants to have his own city in Texas for the Tesla employees, that, hey, you come work here, you can buy a house, you can rent a house. There'll be different levels of people inside the Elon community, okay? And these guys never have any good names for it. It's got a stupid name. It's totally forgettable, and I forgot it right now. So share your thoughts on all this stuff so far. Make sure you stay up to date with your bank, credit cards, everything right now, because you're going to see things shut off like you've never seen before. So many people over the weekend wrote me about Bank of America, branches having difficulty getting cash out of the ATM. I wish this was just Southern California. It was several different places in the western part of the United States. The ATMs were miraculously closed. Gina wrote me about Community Bank, and she had a credit card there and called to inquire about cash advance. And they told her what it was. Okay, great. She goes to use the card to get the cash advance, and they said, no, we shut the card off. Declined. She calls back, and they said, oh, the previous person you spoke to closed the account for inactivity. Guys, I'm telling you, if you have credit cards, the goal is to pay them off, okay? But every now and then, use them. $10 here, $10 there. I used it to pay for parking on one of them today just to make sure I had that. Etsy sellers have written me galore. In the last 48 hours, I've had so many Etsy sellers that had their payments through Etsy, through Silicon Valley Bank, and they're not getting the money. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, guys, because the feds, as of late yesterday said, hey, don't worry, everybody's going to get their money. We're going to guarantee it. No, they're not. And this is just the beginning of the problems. But Etsy sellers are not getting the money. And again, these are small business people that are just trying to sell things and get from place to place to place. And, that's terrible. So it'll be interesting to see how long this takes for the Etsy sellers to get worked out. The payroll people, I want to know what's going on with the payroll people. For those of you out there that have payroll through Silicon Valley Bank or subsidiaries, or it's ran through them, let me know, guys, if you've gotten your money. Because, as of right now, nobody that I know of has gotten their money through Silicon Valley Bank payroll yet. I'm going to end this video with these last few stories. Guys, this is the tip of the iceberg when it comes to these banks. You know, we hear all these conflicting stories. This is going to play out live, and we are living through history right now. They're going to bail people out. They're not going to bail people out. One thing I can tell you is from knowing this industry and knowing medical, biotech, life sciences, whatever you want to call it, you're going to see a lot of companies go out of business this week as a result of that bank going out of business. Pure and simple. You're going to see people that are going to quit working for these companies because they're not going to get paid when they find out that these bank executives got their money. Now, the other thing that's absolutely crazy right now is that you are seeing different subscription-based products out there, like HP printers. Right now, think about this. They just did a firmware update for some of these HP printers, and some of the people can't use their printer right now because the ink is low on their printers. So you bought this online subscription. I think it's an absolute scam, and it's designed so that you're going to be paying forever for this. Well, what about online subscriptions for banking? Because that's coming. And they're talking about Bank of America having an online subscription that, oh, you want online banking? That's going to cost you an extra $12 a month. Oh, I thought that was my service charge. No, this is for your bank account service charge. This is in addition to online banking. What access do you want through online banking? Do you want to print checks? Do you want this? Do you want that? And based on the tier, it'll cost you more. Criminal, okay? But it's a subscription-based life that we're going to be heading towards. Final thing is surge pricing. You guys have seen this. If you've traveled and you use Uber, hey, you want to use Uber, at this time of day, you're going to pay an extra $8 for your ride. Wow, that's criminal. How about surge pricing for movie theaters? How about surge pricing for bowling alleys? Okay. The story below is crazy because there's a Bolero near us here in Orange County that's a bowling alley. Oh, you want to use the lanes during surge time? It's $418 to reserve 2 lanes. $418 to bowl. That is insane, guys. So we're going to see more things like this. Surge pricing for movie theaters, the gym, different services that you guys want. So get ready for it. We have not seen anything when it comes to these banks yet. Okay, this is the beginning. Any breaking news, I will break in with you guys. Okay? Don't forget to hit the like button. Take a look at our sponsor today, and also Onward and Upward, guys. Don't forget to join the email list. The link is below. Okay, we got an email coming out at the end of the week. I appreciate everything, guys. I will see you guys real soon. Onward and Upward. And don't forget, you can email me anything at hello@iallegedly.com. I'll see you soon.